welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather, and in this video I'm going to share with you all of the different equipment that you can elect to use if you are starting an at-home yoga practice. So I want to start out by saying first that you do not need any equipment at all to start a yoga practice, not even a yoga mat. You can simply get on YouTube, get on your Peloton app, get on your favorite fitness app, download some yoga videos, watch some videos on my channel. You can get started without anything, okay? You do not need a yoga mat. Yoga mats are newer in the grand scheme of things to yoga. They are newer. You know, people have done yoga for thousands of years using rugs, using the ground, using absolutely nothing. So it's important to know that if you're wanting to get started with an at-home yoga practice, you do not need to make any sort of financial investment in any equipment. I want to show you a few different things that I use in my yoga practice at home, and you can use them yourself if you would like. I've got links for all of these items or comparable items. Some of these things I've had for a while in the description below, so you can click on those links and you can find the equipment that I'm going over in this video. And so I'll also share with you what you can use as an alternative, some things that you probably have around the house as an alternative so that you don't need to make any sort of financial investment. So the first thing is a yoga mat. I've got 3 different mats here, and I'll make a separate video describing some of the different yoga mats and what you're purchasing, what's the difference between a $15 yoga mat and a $115 yoga mat. But this one right here is one that I've got from LULULEMON. I've had it for a long time. This is actually my second yoga mat. My first yoga mat was just a piece of black rubber. There was no designs on it, nothing fancy, was not very thick or anything. And I wore it out. I sufficiently wore it out. So I made an investment in a really nice LULULEMON yoga mat. And this one is quite a bit thicker. So it gives you a little bit more padding, especially if you're doing yoga on a hard gym floor or hardwood floor of some sort. The downfall of this is that it's relatively heavy. It's not like super heavy, but if you're carrying it around to the gym, carrying it around to the yoga studio all the time, it is just a little bit heavier. Then I've got this Gaiam yoga mat that I just purchased from Target, and it's one of their newest designs. It's black and gold with some gold, like flower design, something like that on it. I like to use this one when I'm going to a yoga studio, going to yoga at the gym, simply because it's just lighter weight. It's very thin and does not really protect my knees if we're doing stuff on the knees in the yoga studio. But at my gym, they do have exercise mats that you can put underneath your yoga mat to help give some of that extra padding, which that's what this is right here. So this is an exercise pad. It's not technically a yoga mat, but it's a pad that's a little bit thicker that if you have one of these, you can certainly use it. I would just put like a blanket or something over it because it can be a little bit slippery. Your hands might slip. But you could also put this underneath a thinner yoga mat for some additional padding. So those are the 3 different yoga mats that I have for 3 various different reasons. I actually have this one in gray. I do take these outside. I do some aerial yoga outside. So I've got a couple of different setups for that. So I would say if you're going to get started, if you want to purchase a yoga mat, you don't need to buy anything fancy. You can get on Amazon, go to Target, and get one of the Gaiam yoga mats. They're very affordable. They won't last super long, and they won't last as long as this LULULEMON one that I've had forever, but it will definitely get you started. The next thing after a yoga mat, the next thing that I made an investment in and that I would suggest making an investment in is a set of yoga blocks. And these are nothing fancy. They're just regular yoga styrofoam blocks. I think I picked these up at Walmart. There's links in the description box for I think these exact same yoga blocks. I've had these forever and I've always just used them. They're lightweight. They work perfectly. So these are the yoga blocks. Now, if you don't want to make an investment in yoga blocks, they're not super expensive, but if you don't want to spend any money, you don't need to. You can use books. Just simply find some books around the house that might be a similar size. You don't want to use anything that is a paperback or flimsy or anything like that, you'll want to make sure that you get a nice thick hardcover book that you can use as a yoga block. Usually with yoga blocks comes a yoga strap, and in the kit, I think that in the description that I've given you, it comes with the yoga block and the strap. So the strap really is sort of an extension of your arms and can help you, especially if you're trying to get into some deeper poses, but maybe your arms can't quite get there just yet. That's what I use my strap for quite a bit. If you don't have a strap or don't want to spend money on a strap, you can use a belt. Just a regular leather or, knit. This is just a knit strap. You can use just a regular knit belt. Maybe you've got a piece of fabric from a dress, something like that. You don't want something with too much stretch in it. You can see this doesn't really stretch. You don't want something with a lot of stretch to it, but something that you can use to really act as an extension of your arms. So that is the yoga strap. The next thing here, this is something I just bought for myself to use at home. I never used these before. I always just use a pillow or a blanket instead, but this is a bolster, and this is great if you're doing any sort of restorative yoga where you are getting into a pose and you're going to hold it for 5 minutes and you want to get your parasympathetic nervous system to just activate and chill out your body. This is great for giving some additional support, especially along the center of your body or the torso of your body. Like I said, I just made this purchase in the last year, and I've been practicing yoga for well over a decade. And you can use just a regular pillow. I don't have one here with me, but you can use just a regular pillow. You can use a blanket. You can fold up a couple of different blankets together to act as the bolster. If you're doing any sort of like power yoga or vinyasa yoga, you probably don't need a bolster. And it's really more if you're doing some of the more restorative or types of yoga. So that is the bolster. And then I've got this blanket here. You'll see if you go to the gym or the yoga studios, a lot of them use these authentic Mexican blankets. You can buy them in Mexico. You can buy them in the Southwest United States. You can buy them on Amazon. A lot of stores carry them too, but they're very soft. They come in a lot of really fun colors. As you can see, I got one that matches, the colors of everything I have is purple and teal. And you can use this for a lot of different things. I actually just purchased this blanket as well. I've always just used a regular blanket that I had laying around the house, an Afghan, something like that. But I use this for, again, if you need some additional support along with your bolster or your blocks. I also use it when I'm practicing yoga outside. I'm very allergic to grass. So I like to lay a blanket down underneath my yoga mat so that I'm not putting my hands and my bare feet in the grass and maybe potentially touching my eyes or something like that and getting grass in my eyes. So I like to use it for that. I also use it when I'm doing aerial yoga. I'll put it underneath my mat as well, just for some additional protection. And I'll make a separate video of all the equipment that I have for aerial yoga. That's a totally different story. And then lastly, you can see I just got these. They are still in the packaging. These are from Gaiam. These are the knee pads. So you can see the girl, the model on the photograph here. Use them, for your knees for additional protection for your knees. I'm well into my 40s, and knees are something I'm trying to protect right now. And so you can see the stretch that she's doing right here. And if you're trying to do something like that where you've got most of your body weight on your knees, and you can use the knee pads to give that additional cushion and support underneath your knees. What I've done, like I said, I just bought these still in the package, haven't even used them yet. But usually what I do when I'm at the studio or if I'm at home and I need the additional support on my knees, I just fold up my yoga mat, one end of my yoga mat, and put that underneath my knees. Also, if you go to the gym or to the yoga studio, they'll have towels. You can grab a towel and use that as well. And you can use that at home too. So these are the items that I have for my home yoga practice. I have been practicing yoga for, again, well over 10 years. And I finally just made the investment in these things. I've always had a yoga mat, and I've always had the yoga blocks and the straps for at home, and I just made the investment in some of these things. So you don't need to purchase all of these things. You can use things around the house, but if you are interested in establishing a nice set of equipment for your yoga practice at home. These are some of the items that I recommend. I've got links for you in the description box below. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you would like and subscribe to my channel, I would absolutely love that. And please share this video with someone who you think might benefit from the information in this video. So thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the next video.